he's won all these trophies with them, like Champions League and stuff. Like, make it a bit more emotive. But it was just him, like, and a little some writing next to it. And so that's just really underwhelming kind of send-off. Yeah, some news just before we started, which is apparently that the personal terms have been agreed with.
Are we, fellow Reds? You're back with me, Spen and Chaz, to review the end of the season. We did it. 3-0 versus Brighton. Bruno gets the record, and so much other stuff to get into as well. Massive thanks as always for your support this season. Me and Chaz started doing this as Carrick joined, so are we to thank? Who knows? We'll find out.
We are.
I think we are. And if you are subscribed and following already, huge thanks. Stick with us. We've got loads coming. We've got transfers. We've got World Cup. We've got so much to look forward to. So get subscribed, get following. If not, what are you waiting for? We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and we've got so much coming on all the socials as well. So get involved. But Chaz, we're here. Last one about United for a little bit. Getting into World Cup. Brighton 0, United 3. Good result.
Yeah, really good. Like, I wasn't expecting to be fair, but obviously based on the predictions, like I said, I always predict a United win no matter what. But like, I thought just because they had so much to play for, because they still could have got Champions League football, so I just expected more from them. But also, I think it's just a reflection on how we played. To be fair, maybe it's just because we were relaxed, chilled, want to have like a kind of good end to the season, and that's what happened.
Yeah, very impressed. Cracking the flags, sunshine. I'm in shorts now. Actually, it's still sunny. Perfect day for football. Yeah. Oh, even in Scotland, guys, it must be nice must be nice in Britain. But yeah, really impressive, and we'll get into some of the key moments. But as always, let's look at our predictions and bets. So you went with a 3-2 United. You got the win, obviously, and I went with a 2-1 United. So
I got the goals.
You did. You got the 3. I didn't expect that way at Brighton. So fair play to you, and to keep a clean sheet as well. Love it.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't know what our last kind of performances against Brighton, but in my recent memory, I feel like they're pretty poor results against them. They always do us pretty well, like them and Brentford and the teams that seem to be just consistently beat us. So yeah, like nice to go away and get a win like that.
Yeah, particularly with Carrick, first job as permanent manager as well. I think we said on the last pod that he probably would want a bit of a commanding performance, and he definitely got one. And then in terms of scorers, I don't think we were gonna bet on Dorgu to score.
No, especially a bullet header as well.
Superb.
I was checking his before we started. I was just checking his height, see how tall he is. See if he can be popping up more often. He's 6'1", so he's a decent height. He's obviously very athletic as well, and so maybe there should be more of that in the future. Maybe he can pick up the slack where Casemiro's off.
Yeah, we said it about Shaw last time, and I know Dormi's likely to play further forward, but if these kind of players can chip in with a few more goals, I'm going to say it maybe a couple of times in this pod, Chaz, but that's title winning stuff,
I know. Yeah.
I've said it. Lineup was quite interesting, to be fair. He went strong, didn't he? And obviously, Dorgu coming in. There was a strange absence from Dalot, which has kind of been squashed. He went to the Amex, but he wasn't kind of in the squad. But yeah, the team was pretty healthy.
Yeah, obviously, I thought Mount actually did pretty well in that position. Like, he's still not his position. He's still better further up the pitch, but I thought he was actually pretty decent, like tidy and gets about the pitch a lot. So yeah, I was happy to see him versus Ugarte, as I'm sure most people were, and I think that shows Carrick's thoughts on Ugarte. Is like, that was a game where you'd think it would be Kobe and Ugarte, but then to put someone who's kind of out of position there just shows really that what his opinions are of Ugarte. So I'll be very surprised if he's here next season.
Yeah, great point. To put in there, particularly against a dangerous team like Brighton as well. You'd think you'd need a bit more of an enforcer, but he's gone bold, and it's paid off, which is nice.
Yeah,
but let's get into some of these moments then, and obviously we won't overdo it because we know it wasn't a massive game, but it was still great to get it and great to have the performance. But yeah, that goal, what a moment for Bruno. So great crossing, and then Ballon Dorgu with a bullet header. I was a little bit worried, that Bruno might not get the assist when I first saw it, with kind of how it kind of hit the bar keeper and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, still went in.
That'd be cruel.
I
A
know.
cruel way to lose a. That's what it means. Like, would it be like a semi-own goal type thing, and ends up being uh, an own goal, and you get assists for own goal, and all that kind of way. Doggy would get it. So yeah, nice to see, and yeah, fully deserved. Like, he gets a lot of hate still, particularly from some ex-United pundits. Like,
Yeah.
he's just been putting up numbers season after season in a poor to average team. Like, he's just unbelievable. Like, and I saw, I don't know if you, I didn't realize this, whether we spoke about it the other week with Keno getting in on him. And apparently Keane got the quote wrong.
Go on.
He said, okay, so Keane basically said, "Oh, I can't believe he's saying what?" Basically, whatever Bruno said, it was like, "I should have shot and should have passed, or I should have passed and should have shot." Um, Keane got the wrong way around and slated him for it, and actually he got it the wrong way around. And Bruno basically was saying, "I should have." He said, "I should have, or I shouldn't have shot." Or so I can't remember what it was. Whichever way around it was, but it was yeah, he basically got it completely wrong and then went on like a 5-minute rant about it's disgraceful and this kind of stuff, trying to get an assist record.
False information.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's ignore the haters, and we've done it a few times on this pod, since we started quite rightly, but just let's celebrate the man. Like, he's wonderful. Number 21, he's clear above Henry and De Bruyne now, which is fantastic to have him there. Again, in a non-title winning team, an underperforming team, all these things just make it even more special. And my next mention is, has he got 21 the season before United get 21?
Hopefully. That's a
Chaz?
premonition. Bruno's premonition.
All this stuff is just telling me something. What do you think, fellow Reds?
Also, you got to feel like next season, he played like half the season as a deep midfielder. So, like, I think he could have smashed the record if he was, like, again, next season, you got to think we're getting better. Like, I feel like that's something that's always achievable for him, getting to those sorts of numbers based on like an improving team as well. Especially if he's got like a two behind him who he can fully trust to be always kind of making those killer passes, because it doesn't matter so much if they go wrong and he's got someone there. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like with the amount of chances he created this year, it was insane. Like, I don't know if you've seen the chart where it's like everyone else and he's like over here off screen.
Yeah.
So you just say, yeah, if he had, I said it before, like if Haaland was playing for us, he would have got 30 assists or something this season probably.
Well, it's a good point as well, because he's also going to be playing next season with players who have got a lot more comfort being at United. So like Cunha won't be his first season, and Buemo won't be his first season. Seska will have a bit more. So you'd hope as well that these players will be able to kind of add more. So yeah, who knows what he could achieve next season? That would be amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, they've all got what? Over 10. They've all got over 10 goals, like each. I think it's the first time since some Arsenal players back in the day, for 3 new signings. So you think like, yeah, they should be getting their goal as a minimum, I think, should be 15 each. And then Bruno's probably the one providing most of them. So yeah, why not smash his own record next season and win the title?
He said it again. Yes. Spot how many times we're going to mention it this pod. But yeah, for example, as well, if Sesko is going to be our number 9, and we both want him to be, he's probably got to be pushing 20 plus, right? That's what we kind of need from him. And as you said, that Bruno's already shown what the connection could be with him, aerially, but just generally as well. So could be exciting. And I love it. He got
11 goals, right? Second half of the season.
Yeah.
So if he replicates that for the first half, then that's over 20 goals. And he obviously wasn't starting many games. Obviously, it was in Amarin's awful system. So yeah, like 20 goals. Like you said, I agree. 20 goals should be his starting goal for next season.
Yeah. I hope so. But yeah, I'm also loving people trying to take some stuff away from Bruno, talking about how many set pieces he was. A, who cares? B, Arsenal have literally just won a title based on that as well. So Bruno can't have, a record and all these accolades for doing it personally, but a team are allowed to win the league on it, and that's all right. So it's it contradicts.
Corners don't count now, do they? Or free kicks don't count. Like, it's just bitter. And also, I saw on Sky Sports, like, no one's ever mentioned the ratio of open play to set play, but goals, assists before until this season, because it's just, again, it's United sells ads, so it's just clickbaity stuff. even
Yeah.
from like the big boys like Sky Sports. Like, why are you suddenly mentioning it? And then I saw, I don't know if you've seen this, but Henry scored, obviously got his 20 assists, and on their stat it has 0 from corners or anything. And then I've seen someone post a video. He's like 5 of them are from corners and free kicks. So they've not even done the like. Someone was like, that doesn't sound right because Henry used to take corners. And then I was like, well, did Arsenal not score any corners that whole season from that side? And then this bloke was like posted a video, and there's like 4 or 5 of them which were from open play. So sorry, from set piece. And same with De Bruyne. So I don't know what whoever did the research didn't do it very well. And then also, like you said, who cares? Like it's created a goal, right? And it's almost like, is it harder to create an assist from a corner or a free kick when everyone's set and like purposely there, like man on man marking, zonal defense? Like it's harder to get a perfect ball on someone's head to score that. Like it's just, it's stupid.
It's mad. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And it's just any excuse to try and claw it away from him. But you can't. He's got it. He's clear at 21. What a player. And we'll come back to him in a little bit as well because it's not his only involvement. But let's get into the second goal as well, which was lovely. Like literally just that football. Shout out Ahmad as well because he's had a bit of a tough one. But the feet there to find Mount with a delicate little ball through across the goal. Great running from Mbuemo. And then he taps it in. I literally was on my feet just going crazy for that goal because I loved it. A bit more of that next season, please.
The goals. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like those little, which we've seen a lot more of since Carrick's come in. We saw it in the first game against City, like those little triangles and passing around. Obviously, that was kind of at the side of the pitch, not in a danger area. But now, yesterday, we saw it happening in the right areas as well. And obviously, it's creating goals. And it's nice to see these little patterns emerging, which shows like Carrick's not a vibes manager. He has tactical nous as well. So yeah, also really nice for Ahmad and Brian to link up as well, because obviously they've had a bit of a tough time, both of them. So Brian's got 2 and 2, and then Ahmad's finally got another assist, which takes him to, I think, 3 for the season or something like that.
Yeah, Brian scoring again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Did a bat just enter your room then? It looked like it on camera.
So a buzzard, yeah.
I just saw you looking around everywhere, and it's brilliant. I love it. So yeah, lovely goal. Let's get back to Bruno because he then scores the third. So he's not only creating goals, he's scoring as well. And again, lovely bit of play. Bruno through. What a finish! No right to score from there.
I'm just running out of things to say to him now and like about him now. Sorry, like he just keeps doing it. Like I wonder, like I was like, if he hadn't got the assist earlier in the game, like would you try to figure out a way? Like, oh shit, I'm like, what do I do here? How can I turn this into an assist? But obviously, yeah, really nice finish and great for him to get on the short. And I had him as triple captain in my fantasy team, so that helped me as well.
Little mention of fantasy, shall we do it? Well, while you've mentioned it now, Chaz beat me this season comfortably.
Where did you come? One below me. I came third, but in a table of 6, so a mid-table / just above the relegation zone.
Yeah, I did a Spurs and basically just staved off relegation.
Straight over.
On the last day. But yeah, good triple captain. And we wanted a bit of a Bruno celebration and we got it. And yeah, it would have been funny though if as he stayed on the third goal, he just runs up and then he literally waits, just stops, waits for the team to join it. Yeah, and he's like, please, I want to get another assist.
Screw it.
But yeah, what a goal. And yeah,
if he did get another assist, he would have beaten the European record of Muller's as well, which would have been nice.
Next season. Is that I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So they were obviously the main moments and really enjoyed it, but some other things to call out as well. Obviously, it must have been a tricky time for Maguire. Obviously, he posted and Tuchel had a bit of a swipe, obviously saying he was surprised that he posted, but Maguire loves England and, you know, I can imagine, but he played well. He was really solid.
Yeah, like, and it's kind of what you expect him to do. It's like, probably had more eyes on him a bit to see how he reacted and he just kind of delivered. And that's also what they're missing by not taking him. It's just kind of, like, he doesn't need to start either. He's just dependable. You can trust him when he comes on. Like,
yeah,
I can't remember how many seasons it was again now. Like 4 seasons ago when he obviously had that bad season. But since then, you can't knock his performances for England and for United. Like he's been putting up kind of great performances throughout. He's like those kind of wobbles that he was having and bad passes or stuff like that. That's I can't remember the last time he's made a mistake that's led to a goal. Like, it must be a couple of seasons now.
Yeah,
Obviously, we had that one season where it was happening a lot, but yeah, I just think I feel really sorry for him for not getting on in the England squad, to be fair.
same. Yeah, still don't understand it, but we'll see in the summer. But fair play to him. I was desperate for him to get a goal, and actually, for
A
some
goal,
reason,
yeah.
when Dorgu's header went in, I just assumed that was kind of like Maguire territory, and I was about to go crazy, and then I was happy that it was Ballon Dorgu anyway.
Also, did you see? I again, not to get back onto the England squad, but I saw Stones didn't even start because he was injured.
Right. Yeah, clearly he's been injured for a while as well. So
Yeah,
I don't know if Maguire's upset him or something, but it's a real odd one.
yeah, really weird.
Yeah. I also really enjoyed watching Mainoo yesterday. I thought he was just nice and tidy, and he's still showing a bit more desire to get forward. And I think I'm excited for his next season. I think he's done really well since Carrick joined, and a bit of confidence, reassurance. Hopefully, he'll have, a nice, exciting signing next to him as well. But
Yeah,
excited for what he could do next year.
yeah. I think who is I think Scholes and Keane mentioned it, how they used to be like someone will go forward and then the other one drops back. If Keane pushed forward, Scholes would drop back for a little bit, and vice versa. And it's normally Scholes, but it's like that's what kind of thing I think where it could potentially happen with whoever this partner is with
Yeah,
Cobby. But he scored good goals before, so you think maybe if he has someone with legs, obviously Casemiro's had an amazing season, but someone who can be as good positionally as Casemiro, but also have the legs to 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 clean up if stuff happens, then hopefully that'll give Cobby some more kind of leeway to get up because he's obviously got a good finish on him and he can play those little sneaky little balls and little flicks and stuff, which is a bit like we saw from Mount. He can do that as well, so it'd be nice to
yeah,
see more of that. And yeah, he's still only like 20, so he's just building, and I think I agree that's something he can build on more so.
I'm excited. And what do you think? Is that Mount in the shop window, or is that Mount sticking around next season in the squad?
I think Mount's sticking around in the squad, and
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
same.
I think his United career doesn't look good and hasn't been good, not because he's not a good player like Agate and Xerxes, or he doesn't fit at United. He does. He just is too injury prone. He's not on the pitch enough. So he's never really had a decent run. And when he did get this kind of one under Matt Amorim, he was decent. But those runs have been like 3 or 4 games. Then he's out for 3 months, and so that's been his United career. But there's definitely a player in there. So I'd love him to stay fit, and yeah, like next season we got a lot of games, so you could see him getting like 20 odd games next season, but making a proper impact.
I agree. Really like him. I hope he can stay fit. And I think, yeah, going into the Champions League as well, a great player to bring on. So fingers crossed for Mount, but it was good to watch
Yeah,
him as well. Um, we might have to change this feature next season to is it anyone other than Bruno Fernandes? Because normally it is, and I'm not sure it's going to be too different today. But Chaz, man of the match for you?
I think I'm gonna give it to Bruno Fernandes.
It's crazy, isn't it? As well, it's ridiculous that you almost have to play it down, but you can't knock him, can you? He's assisted, he's scored, he's everywhere. Like I say, some other players put in some decent performances and are worth a mention, which we've given already. But it's that man Bruno, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gotta be. Like
Yeah.
you can't break a record, get an assist, and score and win 3-0 as captain and not get man of the match.
Yeah, exactly. But celebrating the man again. But let's have a quick look at Brighton as well. So obviously, we were both surprised to kind of comfortably win because they're a great team and they've had a great season. But what are your thoughts on them?
Uh I think I messaged out and one of our mates group. I was like, I think they're in the Conference League, and straight away I was like, I think they've won that because they are a really good
Yeah,
team, and the quality of
yeah.
teams that are in that competition don't really match up to Brighton. Um, yeah, so I think they're good. I think they'll obviously be disappointed they kind of slipped down the table a little bit. Maybe should have started Danny Welbeck more in the last few games, and he might have won some more. Um, but yeah, quality team. Like obviously, Baleba came on in this second half, so it's interesting to see him. I don't really remember too much other than he nailed someone. Uh, was it Dorgu?
Oh,
I think he
I
nailed
can't.
Dorgu, and then he had a shot. So again, like just thinking, we had a lot of auditions recently with like Anderson and stuff, who was amazing. Like Baleba, I feel like I would still take him, but the price tag was probably more like 40, 50 million now versus 100 last year. But they've got a lot of tidy players, Brighton, like Matoma's decent, and who's the centre mid
And I
who
think about
switched
Groves, who just joined as well.
yeah, I can't remember. Basically, whoever was on before Baleba.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're a good team. I'm always thinking now though, at the point where they maybe should be doing better than they are. I guess this season they got European qualification. It's probably like a goal for them. But you feel like maybe they should be pushing for Europa sort of qualification.
Yeah, I think the tidy outfit have had such a great season. It was mad that they had to kind of, at the end of the game, all be on the phones to see how the other results had gone because you thought they were well past that situation. But yeah, and they could have dropped out. That was probably one of the most interesting parts of the end of the season, which we'll
Yeah,
get to in a bit. But yeah, I do think based on the whole season, Brighton deserves some form of European football. And on your Baleba point, it's a funny one. But I think because we flirted with him for a bit, I don't know how to feel if we sign him. I'll probably be a bit like. Okay. Obviously, there'll be other players that I'd probably be a bit more excited about to see, but
yeah,
hopefully, we've made some decent decisions recently, and we've hopefully done our homework. Apparently, he was gutted when he missed out. So let's see. But yeah, some good players, good season, good young manager as well. So yeah, I think future's bright for them. No pun
yeah, yeah,
intended. Uh, right. So yeah, just generally, I think in terms of just wrapping up that game. Great win, a tough place, all about Bruno, which is,
I've got some youngsters on, didn't we?
we got some youngsters on,
Jade
yeah, really,
AC and Jack. Was it Tyler or Jack? One of the Fletchers.
yeah,
It's Jack, I think it was. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's nice to get them on. Like
yeah,
we weren't sure if there'd be more of that. I thought there'd be more in the squad, but I also think if you're getting, I know Heaven and Yoro aren't academy players, but they're still getting kind of game time, and they're because they've been in the squad for a long time. They're still young players. So it's good to see them get some minutes as well.
yeah. Nice taste of the future, and obviously we've been following the kind of the youth teams as well this season as well, and there's some really exciting talent there. So with how we finished with our main squad, I think we need to bolster that, and then with some of this youth coming through as well. That's why I'm getting excited, Chaz. I can't help it. And why not? This is
Yeah.
what it's all about. Carrick's making
Well,
us
it's
believe again.
yeah. Also, with what's going on at all the other clubs, like you don't feel like Arsenal are going to dominate for years with that team. So, like, let's not get too excited. But I'm excited.
Yeah, same. Right. Let's kind of just, I guess, review the end of the season as well, then, and some of the other stuff that kind of went on. So we know about Carrick, permanent there, great first win, and his numbers are just incredible. He took over January 13th when we were seventh. Obviously, that's when me and you started doing this as well. Interested to see how it was going to go. 39 points from 17 games, more than any manager over the same period,
Yeah.
including Arsenal, the winners. So amazing.
Yeah. Like, people were trying to take it, put stuff down on him. It's like, but 17 games isn't like a small, like, oh, interim manager thing. That's like half a season. So you can't, that's not a new manager bounce. 17 games. So, and he's come back from losses, and everyone's like, let's see how he responds. And then he responded with wins against on the back of a loss. And then they're like, oh, but he only lost one. You got to see how he responds to losing three. It's like, well, you never want to lose three in a row. So let's just be happy. We lost one and then we bounced back.
Yeah.
So I think he's like, as an audition goes, what more could he have done? Like if you on that whatever that first pod was, or when he first came in, we were like statistically we were close to top four and getting Champions League football, but I still probably would have been like, okay, Europa League's annoying, but I'll take it. But to some of the point swings we've seen in like Chelsea, like dropping like a stone, like they were like maybe above us. Villa were 9 points ahead of us.
Yeah,
I
honestly,
think
yeah,
Liverpool were 5 ahead of us, I think.
really
Um,
decent gap.
yeah, so to turn like for those swings to happen, like that is some job, and yeah, it shouldn't be underestimated what he's done, despite a lot of people wanting to.
Yeah, I like that he had some adversity as well in terms of it was probably unrealistic that he'd come in and win everything. But like you said, it showed that even when we did drop points, he'd bounce back, and that's a really good sign for me. And
Yeah,
it's been amazing. And shout out to him and his coaching staff, which he's retained going forward, which makes absolute sense. It looks like they've got a pretty good blend there of experience and United know-how, and they're clearly doing something right at the minute. So I really hope that they can, with a full summer as well and a transfer window get fully behind him, and let's have a go next season, eh?
yeah, yeah,
let's do,
exactly.
let's do it. Season highlights. I don't know if you think into the Amarin area, whether there's anything that you can really remember, but anything call out to you that we've not really discussed in terms of United memories. It's not been the best season. It's ended much better than it started. But what for
I'm
you
trying to
really
think
kind
of
of stands out?
I'm trying to think of any Amarin stuff which was positive. I guess like the removal of like the bad eggs and that kind of thing, but
Yeah,
it wasn't like a happy camp, was it, with him? Like
no,
it started off all right, and I'm trying to think if there was any particular games where he beat Liverpool, right? That was him.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So that was obviously a positive, but on the whole, yeah, that first half of the season, I never thought it would end in third and beating Brighton 3-0 in the sun on the final day of season and it
yeah,
not meaning anything is amazing. Like to have that. So yeah,
massively.
like and then obviously highlights are again this is a product of Amarin, but Cobby's comeback is definitely one of them. Um, obviously Bruno is obvious. But also just like the three new signings, all like none of them were like incredible seasons, but I think they all had good seasons. And then Lamens is probably a step above in terms of his season versus the other three. He's probably like really good season. Like again, not like unbelievable, but for what he's done, young keeper coming into the Premier League at the biggest club to play like he's been playing and to not make headlines for the wrong reasons after what we've had for the last few years. It's just that if it wasn't for Bruno this year, he'd probably be my player of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think he's just been unbelievable. What about you? Any other highlights?
Yeah, no, I think you've nailed loads there, Chaz. And I saw United did this thing about like an unsung hero, and like loads of people selected Lamens randomly. Bruno selected Dallo, and I think Xerxes selected Mbeumo. But for me, Lamens is definitely that unsung hero, and he's just been phenomenal. And
Yeah,
I hope he can continue it. I think, as you mentioned with Amorim as well, it's hard to think of like a lot of plus points. With him. But I think he has played, we said this before, but like quite an interesting role in the future in terms of, like you said, he has kind of cleaned the decks, like finally, with some of this stuff. And, he must have been involved in some of this recruitment as well. So he's played a part and, we knew it was time for him to move on. And then Carrick's come in and just done an incredible job with it. So I think for me, doing the double over the Scousers and, finally winning at Anfield is probably
yeah,
a big one. And then it's more just like, I think what some of the stuff we've already discussed, the finish really, delighted for Bruno to get this recognition and this reward. I'm so excited to be back in the Champions League. Like we used to take it for granted, didn't we, Jez? Just like, oh yeah, we're there, the music
yeah,
on, and other fans used to talk about, getting chills and stuff from the music. And if I'm honest, I did get a bit complacent with that. So, it's a
yeah,
slap on the wrist for me. But I'm just excited to have it back at Old Trafford again and can't wait to be there and just feel it again. So that for me is probably the big stuff.
yeah. I agree.
And let's not taint it with lows. We know there's been a few. Grimsby, shocker. Just cups in
Yeah,
general, shocker.
yeah,
Yeah, so I'd really like, I don't want to be too greedy, but would really love us to have a bit of a cup run next season as well, to
yeah,
try and get that quad. But yeah, let's look at wider as well around the league. So let's start. Like I say, it was kind of anticlimactic, really, in terms of based on
yeah. It
what it
was.
could be. So
Yeah,
we'd already discussed Arsenal winning the league, and since then there's been lots of content on it, which I know you've been enjoying, Chaz.
yeah. I just it's sort of one of those like hate watching things, isn't it? Like it keeps coming up and I keep looking at it. It makes me angry. I'm like, why am I bothering
Yeah.
looking at these idiots? Like they're just Right, fair play, they've won the league, so I'm sure we'll be buzzing when we win it again next year. So, um, but I'm just seeing all this stuff like, what is it? It's basically like Rice versus Bruno, and it's like, oh, put your Premier League medal on your table, and that's the conversation over. It's like I think I don't know that obviously the PFA final awards issues votes for the players hasn't come out yet,
Not yet, no.
but from what I've heard, like lots of people have voted for Bruno. Which I think again, when their peers are doing it, again, it might be the Arsenal kind of Rice could still nick it potentially, but like if you look at the stats and what he's done, like it's unbelievable what Bruno's done. So
I had
yeah,
I
I've
had
gone
this
for
conversation
Bruno again, but
I had this conversation the other day. Look, I actually really like Declan Rice. I think he's a great player. But I actually don't understand it. And this is honestly me not being blinkered. I know I don't watch him week in, week out, but I actually think like Arsenal and other clubs have got more of they could put someone better up against Bruno to maybe make me think about it. So for example, David Raya has been like fantastic this season. So has Gabriel.
yeah,
If they kind of said
I'd
those
say
two
those
players,
two would be like
yeah,
yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, fair enough. And it would be quite funny if Raya actually won it and Arsenal won the league because it would just show kind of like
Yeah.
how they won it. But
Well, like that save he made for Fernandes against West
amazing,
Ham, like
amazing.
that won the league,
Yeah,
basically. That won the league. Well, obviously City dropped off, but you don't know how mentally they checked out, basically. But
yeah.
like that was huge. And I can't think of a defining game where, again, like I'm like you, I've not watched every Arsenal game, but is there a defining performance that season where like all I see is Declan Rice being praised for saying it's not over after they lost to City?
Yeah,
Wait,
like
what? Well, like,
he's ever present and he does obviously an important role in that team, but so does Bruno and then more. So does Bruno
yeah,
and then sets all of these records. So I honestly don't understand the argument. And like I say, I think there's other
yeah,
players that would maybe be a better argument, but
yeah.
I don't care. Bruno Fernandes all
I
day.
like Rice. I think
Yeah,
we should have
same,
signed. I loved it if we signed
same.
Rice and he's quality, but
Yeah,
I just don't think because he's won the league this year and he's captain, or he's not
no,
captain, or Odegaard's captain, whatever, that he deserves to win it because he hasn't been the best player.
I
Like
think it's the
that's
same
just
for.
reality.
I don't even think manager of the season should just necessarily go to the title winner as well, because sometimes you've got to really look at the job you've done with the resources you've had, the challenges you've had, and there's been
Brentford,
so
what's
many.
his face?
Yeah, it's Keith Andrews.
Yeah, Keith Andrews. Yeah,
It's phenomenal. Look at where Sunderland are in the table. Do you know what I mean? That's an
yeah.
unbelievable job.
And Bournemouth, Iriola's got them to Champions League, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because Villa won it, so it's dropped down to
Mm,
that. So I feel like if I was at Iriola now, I'd be like, it'd be fun to take Bournemouth into the Champions League. Like,
yeah. It's,
I guess you'll probably go somewhere bigger,
it's,
but
just his opportunity, isn't it? When he's stocks at the highest, pretty much. So,
yeah,
but yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they do. Yeah, and then relegation was a bit of an anticlimax as well. So we kind of expected a bit more drama. To be fair, West Ham did their job, but too little, too late, and then Spurs managed to get a 1-0 win. I don't think Everton were at it much, to be honest.
no, yeah, you wanted a bit more jeopardy on the final day, or like at
Yeah,
least it would have been like obviously if Spurs drew 1-1, they still were staying up, but it would have
yeah,
been nice to have that like risk of an Everton last minute goal and
yeah.
West Ham kind of like huddled around watching the phones and stuff like that, but none of that happened, sadly.
And I'll say it, you were right, Chaz. I was wrong. You said that West Ham would go down, and I'd called Spurs for a long time. And they
Yeah,
were a lot closer than they should be, really. But yeah, unfortunate for West Ham in the end.
yeah. Although I was thinking about it just from a kind of a transfers perspective, I was like, actually, I'd rather like if I was going to pick players to get on the cheap because someone's been relegated, I actually prefer West Ham's options
Yeah,
with Fernandez, even Bowen. I think he'd be a great job. And what's the Juve as like a younger kind of up and coming
yeah,
wing back. Like
yeah.
then I was thinking, well, Spurs players. I don't actually know Van der Ven maybe, and
Yeah.
then who would you choose over having Fernandez, for example? I don't think I'd choose.
Yeah, there's been chats of Pedro Porro, hasn't there? But you
Yeah,
got to look at some of these players. I'm not sure. Interesting one on Bowen. What do you think he does now, Mr. West Ham? Does he go down and try and get him back, or does he take this opportunity to say, sorry guys, but I'm going to go to X?
I don't know. I guess it would come down to like who wants him.
Yeah,
If any of the big like Champions League clubs, I think he's got to go because like he's done so much for the club. I think, yeah, I think he's got to go. Like if he got a Champions League football opportunity, um, I just, I think he'll stay though. To be fair, I don't think he's going
yeah,
to get that opportunity. Yeah, I don't know
yeah.
who would. I would like him, but he's 29, right? So
Yeah.
like,
It'd
how
be
much
quite
are you going to pay for him?
be quite good for us on that right. You know what I mean? Obviously, I know we've got a couple of players there, but yeah, it's interesting. I think surely they can't begrudge him a move. I think he just needs to not go to a rival and do
Yeah,
like a
yeah, yeah.
Declan Rice move. But yeah, he's
He
missed the
could
West
play.
Ham, so
He could play down because he can also play down the middle of it as well. So he would be a good for us signing for us
yeah,
because as a like a, is he a backup ish to Sesko, but
yeah.
also offers really good kind of wing play. Like, so I convinced myself we should buy him.
You've heard it here first, Bowen to
Yeah,
United.
go in 30 million.
Ah, brilliant. And then the other thing across Manchester, Pep's gone.
Yeah. Did you see his banner? I was like, that's such a shitty banner. Did you see it?
I didn't see it actually, no.
Like the Tifo flag thing.
Yeah,
Like awful. It just said, what did it say? Just really underwhelming. Like Google it. It's just like a picture of
yeah,
Pep saying great 10 years or something. Like, you see it?
yeah. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah,
They're just,
just
they're
how
just,
rubbish is that as a goodbye? Like, think of like how good Casemiro's one was. I think you
yeah.
could have one like he's won all these trophies with them, like Champions Leagues and stuff. Like, make it a bit more emotive. But it was just him, like, and a little some writing next to it. I was like, that's just really underwhelming kind of send off.
They're just a bit rubbish, aren't they? Just in terms of,
Yeah,
yeah. It's hard to do the Poznan when you're standing on your own. They just never have what we have basically, and I love it. And even in these moments, yeah, I will say respect to Pep. Obviously, a ridiculous job that he's done, ridiculous manager. Very happy for him to go. But yeah, they're just not good at this kind of stuff because they're just not used to it
no,
as well. But yeah,
yeah,
good point. I'd missed that. I'd missed that. But yeah, what do you think for City now? We mentioned it briefly last time. And again, our City mate ran away when he should have been on the pod, so maybe we'll get him back on at some
yeah.
point. But yeah, what are you thinking?
They've still got very good players, um, and a good squad and a lot of money. And Maresca's he's obviously not Pep, so I think they'll still be probably title challengers next year.
Yeah,
It's more like long term thinking like if they don't win the league this next season, that'll be 3 years without winning a title. So they don't win the Champions League or get far in Champions League. Like, are they then getting the players, or do they have to start paying big money again to get the players because they haven't got the Pep draw, which is obviously a massive draw. So yeah, I could see a bit of a slump. So hopefully we do see that.
I'm really hoping this is a little window for us, Chaz. Like some of these players we're talking about before might have gone, Pep, yeah, I'm there. And actually,
Yeah,
we keep mentioning it, but Elliot Anderson or those type players think, are they going to enter into kind of a bit of a Man United post Fergie instability? And instead, I'll go to United who have a bit, a lot more stability in a minute. Finally.
and momentum.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So surely we're a bit more of an attractive, that's more of an easier comparison now than it's been in the past, as much as
yeah,
we want players to come based on our history. Like now, actually,
yeah.
if you look at the current day, there's actually really compelling reasons to choose us. And look at some of the players who have chosen us, going into the Champions League, Bruno setting records. So yeah, it's giving me more belief, but we'll see. We'll see in the window.
Yeah,
But let's
yeah,
look
yeah,
forward. Let's look forward actually, and let's tease a little bit of that. So season's over, but this ain't over. We're gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep coming with some United stuff, transfer stuff, looking at the summer, but also a massive World Cup year. And as I said, in terms of transfer window, we mentioned a couple of bits in terms of Elliot Anderson and some others. Let's not give the full pod away, Chaz, but in terms of little tidbits from you. I think you mentioned there was
I
some kind of maybe breaking news as well.
yeah. Some news just well before we started, which is apparently that the personal terms have been agreed with Edison at
Yeah,
Atalanta. So like, I don't want him to be the marquee midfield signing,
yeah,
but but I think he's a good player from everything I've kind of seen and heard. But yeah, he can't be the marquee. He can be the like good, solid, kind of really makes the squad much better. I kind of thinking like a bit like what Arsenal have done. They have built out a big squad of good players, which we need to do. Then you need to sprinkle on the excellent players, which we've got. I think we've got quite a lot of those already. So we still do need that marquee midfielder though next to Cobby, which hopefully is Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, well, I've done that bad thing of YouTubing Edison, and now I'm ready to kind of spend 200 million on him. But we've
Okay, yeah.
we've made that mistake with far too many players in the past. I'm looking at you,
I did that
Anthony.
with Ugarte.
Yeah, did you?
I was like, he's so good. He just tackles everyone.
In clips, apparently.
Yeah.
2 or 3 in 90 minutes, and then you put them all together, and he looks like a worldie. But no, I'll be
Yeah.
excited to get into that with you, Chaz. Obviously, we'll keep things updated on the channels as well. So let's look into that. And then a World Cup, massive for us both. Extra massive for you, Chaz. Obviously, with Scotland being there, you still think you're going to win it?
I think we got a good chance. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know if you're joking anymore. Genuinely,
it's us, our friends. No. Like realistically, like the last time we were there, I remember it as a kid. I don't know what it was. I would have been 98, like 13 or whatever it is. No, 11. Sorry. And I remember it, and I remember watching us play Brazil and obviously lose, and I remember watching us. I remember Morocco knocking us out. So I just really would love us to get out of the group. Basically, would be great, and to get into a kind of one of the yeah, obviously it's so big this World Cup. It's not quarterfinals. It's round of 32 or something. I'm not sure, but I think with it, there's lots of opportunities like to be like worst third place team and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it would be great if we could get through. And I think Scottish football's kind of on the up. Like, it was a really exciting season this year. Obviously, Hearts kind of pushed Celtic all the way, and we got quite a lot of players abroad doing well as well. So yeah, it'd be nice to get out of the group.
I can see a building, Chaz.
That's my realistic prediction.
Yeah, you got some players coming in, full of confidence. John McGinn carrying the flag as well. So I'm looking forward to it. It gives us a bit of an extra dynamic. I got into my first sweepstake this week, and I drew Argentina. Which,
oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, I hope I don't win, but it's not a bad sweepstake draw as a backup, is it?
Yeah. Where do you think England are coming? Think you'll get out of the group?
It's so difficult as an England fan, because obviously it's impossible to say we're going to win it, because I've got nothing to base it on. And every time we think, oh yeah, this is the strongest we've ever been. I'm actually going into this now a little bit nervous and confused, because we've had a good campaign with Tuchel, but then he's made some really strange decisions. So I honestly don't know. I kind of want to just see the first game, let things settle. All right, we're going to win it. We're going to win it. It's coming home. Yeah. That's what you wanted, innit, Jazz?
Yeah.
That's what you wanted.
I definitely don't want to hear that.
Obviously, Germany was incredible, and we got to the final, and we keep getting close, but conditions are going to be tough as well. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Would love us to, but stay with us.
The most informed striker, right, in the world. I mean, he scored six. I looked at it, 61 in 51 games this season for Bayern, which is insane. So, and I think last time he was coming to the tournament, was he injured, or was it the time for one of the ones? So you got a fully fit, fully firing Harry Kane, which is there's a few world class players in the England team, and he's definitely kind of leader of them.
Yeah, and to be honest, what I'm hopeful about is that Tuchel loves him as well, and I think the smart way to do things is to try and play a bit Bayern and play for him, because look at what he's granted. Obviously, with no disrespect to the Bundesliga, he's probably played some games that have been a bit easier than the World Cup will be, but there's going to be some easier hits at the World Cup. So I just want us to play in the best possible way for getting the best Harry Kane, because if we do that, he could do anything. You've seen some of the goals he's done this season out of nowhere. And we need a bit more of that from him, because if he can have a tournament, then we've got a real chance. But getting me excited now, Chaz. But more on that to come. But let's close off the season with Michael Carrick at the wheel. Very happy, very glad that we started doing this when Carrick joined. I hope we can take this forward into next season again with Carrick. Hopefully lifting a trophy. But yeah, stick with us. get subscribed, get following. In the comments, let us know what have your highlights been of the season. What do you think about Carrick? Can we win the title next year? Let us know. And are you looking forward to the World Cup? We'd love to have a chat during this off season, and really glad to have you. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and we're on all the socials. So come and get involved, and we will catch you in the next one.